We'll get to the tricky questions when we start playing.
All right, so we should be live. So yeah, you guys got beyond the Dark Altar. You left things ranging around beyond it. Hopefully they're not going to follow you through the door, but you're not taking any chances, which is
And we shut the door.
the right thing to do. Oh yeah. You've discovered the pair of capstans in one of the rooms, which allows you to open the two portcullises. And I think you were just about to try and work out what you wanted to do next.
I think I suggested closing the portcullises for now, because I wanted to look through that door to the west and before moving on.
So you want to open another door and have a look.
Well, we already know that the Catamapan, whatever the bloody hell Louis called them, open these two portcullises. Capstans, that's the one. So we know that we can get through there, but throughout this adventure,
We explored everywhere.
Genghis doesn't like the idea of leaving things behind him. Now, we know what's coming.
Well, we've left stuff behind us. That's why we shut the door.
Well, no, yeah. I'm just pointing out, in that direction, we know what's there, and we know we can't handle it. However, that's unknown, and that's a new unknown into our back, so I'd like to have a look through there first.
Okay.
I will stand in the corridor.
And Cager thinks the same as well.
Okay, so
Theodore thinks he should stand out the way with his bow.
there are heavy bronze bolts on the outside of that door. So give me a sec.
So it's not going to open unless we open it.
And yeah, they're shut. So if you want to open those, they slide back, and then you can pull the heavy stone door
Pull or push?
towards you. It's pull.
Ooh.
It's definitely a pull.
Which side of the hinge is on?
The hinge is on
Outside.
the north side.
On the north side at the top. So it's
Yeah.
going to open block the corridor to a point.
Yeah, a little. Yeah. So you swing that open, and behind it is a small room. Let me go. Yeah. Beyond that is a small room with nothing inside it other than another stone door. What is interesting to note is that the other side of the door that you've opened likewise has large bronze bolts on it, so it can be locked from either side.
If we slide the bolt back across, does it slide the inside one and the outside one?
No,
So it can be opened from both sides, or is it lockable from both sides?
it's lockable from both sides.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah, they're not linked.
Before I start heading that way, let me change to some kind of ping. So before we start heading that way,
Yeah.
I am very nervous about what's still walking around. So I'm going to walk to this door here,
Yeah.
and I'm going to listen for anything that sounds like it's heading deliberately to this door.
As you tried before, the door is, that thick, solid stone.
Yep.
You can barely hear anything. There's some noises behind it. However, anything that ended up in that room, well,
Yep.
I suppose it depends. Anything that ended up in that room and freely able to move, has now had a good 3-4 minutes to start to open the door that you're to open that door.
Yep.
And you've not heard anything doing that so far.
Here's a random question for you. How close to the floor does the door sit?
Pretty much seals it.
So there's like a rumbling as you open it because it actually touches the floor.
Yeah, it's slight though. It is the workmanship on the doors in this place are better than anything you've ever seen in your life.
So would it be fair to assume that the movement of the door has worn the door to the point where it only just...
there are no scrape marks on the floor in this passageway.
So here there's been cut perfectly.
Yeah.
So even if I was to try and lay down and look underneath, I'd see nada.
There's also a very slight sill, but...
Okay. Does anyone... I know the door's heavy, it's shut, it's secure. Does anyone have a spare dagger?
No.
Nope.
I know Baldur doesn't because he...
Baldur doesn't. I don't have a dagger.
Crashed his, didn't he?
Okay. I think you might. I'll give you this for nothing.
Yep.
In the room with the large tables in it,
over here, yes,
there were various brass implements on the side.
Okay. And what does one look like? It would just about squeeze under the door.
Well, you go in and have a look.
Well, I've been in there once, so...
Yeah, well, I think what you did was open the door, stuck your head in, had a quick look around and going, okay, that's a bit weird, but there's nothing there.
No, I actually went into the room and looked around, didn't I?
No.
Yeah.
Can I go and ransack the area?
You got spy, haven't you, Charlie?
Yeah.
Action's got spy.
Ransack
if you
action.
want, yeah, if you want to go and have
I've got ransack and spy.
Yeah. So if you want to have a quick look around that room and give it a proper once over.
Yep.
Okay. If seeing him heading that way and I've had a look at the door, I'm going to head back because I remember seeing some implements and I want to try and find something that I can wedge under the door.
Yeah. Okay. So a quick look around the room. I'm not going to make you roll for it. A quick look around the room. Like I say, there are these two large tables in the middle. As you go into the room to have a better look at them, they have channels running around the outsides of the table. Is Aladai with you?
Yes.
These look like the types of channels you've seen on sacrificial altars before.
Blood channels.
However, normally on such altars there are also restraints built into the top of them, and on this there aren't. But you would swear that the channels are for blood or other fluids on there. Aladai would also recognise various of the bronze implements are embalming tools. There are hooks, there are curved blades, there are a couple of daggers, all on the side. And there are, as I said before, there are workshops with shelves and sinks, and there's some pots sitting on the side, that kind of stuff.
I've seen this kind of thing before, back in Stygia. Usually there are restraints on the tables, those that was used for sacrificing. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant. But there aren't any here, which suggests that whatever was done, if it was on this table, was potentially voluntary.
Or dead.
Or dead. I mean, it's entirely... But these are all embalming tools, definitely. So it's possible that this is how that out there maybe just speculation. This might have been where they were all sorted out before they were put into their tombs, maybe.
Hmm.
Okay, so have we found anything that looks like that's what you can use as a door jamb or a wedge?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking
There's
for.
some daggers there.
There's a couple of bits there that you could get and kind of hammer in underneath that, or kind of just get into the gap enough, a bit like you did with the sarcophagus. The door did not open. The sarcophagus on the level above you, that opened with it was obviously on a counterweight. This door isn't. It opened fair. Actually, I think it was quite difficult to open, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
this one took 2 of us. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, those things out there are strong. You know, you fought a couple of them. They are seriously strong.
And
Give us a bit more time. Give us a bit more warning and time.
It would definitely buy you warning and time.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to take a couple of those back and kind of wedge them in under the door, that's fine. It's like I say, this door is the seals on it are astounding. In a different game, I would describe it as the highest level of dwarven engineering, as there aren't any dwarves in Conan, then not. But yeah, it's kind of you can just about wedge in a couple of thin things. But yeah, you can get enough that nothing's going to be opening that without you hearing it, and it's going to take quite a lot of force to do it.
Yep, that's the plan. But we don't want to make too much noise whilst doing it.
Okay. No, it's cool.
So we're turning back the corridor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to open this other door, Genghis?
Are you? Is there anything more to be gleaned from the kitchen?
I've spotted it, so that will
Probably
find us everything we need to know.
There's a couple of containers. Actually, they wouldn't even necessarily have lids on them. There's 2 half-full containers that appear to just have fine sand in them.
Up here, to have fine sand in them.
Well, you look in, you go, it's sand. You can go digging around in it if you want.
I can tip it upside down and tip it out, can
I? They're pretty big.
I'll just put the lid back on and leave it.
Is that something else that seems familiar to Allardyce from Stygia, or is that something different?
It's possibly a way of soaking up said liquids.
Right.
Okay, so while they're still looking in the kitchen, I'm applying said implements under the door.
Yep.
Wherever they fit. Ideally, I'm trying to aim for the furthest part of the swing force to make the best effect.
Yep.
And following that, I'm then going to head to the unopened door at the moment.
Okay.
And I'm gathering that this is probably as securely built as the rest and as finely crafted.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not got a bolt on the outside of it, or on this side of it.
Okay.
So you can just pull it open. I think you probably need I'm not going to make you roll for it, but it would take 2 of you to pull it open. It's still a kind of sizable stone door.
Me and KJ.
Okay.
That's Cager and I.
Okay. Yeah, this room is larger than the last one. And given the kind of heavy stone doors with kind of fairly conspicuous locks on it, you notice on the inside of this one again there are these big, huge brass, not brass, bronze bolts that can be slid across to stop this door from being opened. The inside is just simple, plain, dressed stone walls. And otherwise it's completely empty.
Okay, to Genghis, bearing in mind everything he's seen so far, this is probably the weirdest room of the entire thing so far. So he's going to firstly drop down and look for any imperfections he can see along the floor.
Okay. You can't see anything on the floor. The floor just seems, I mean, other than it being kind of unnaturally smooth, which, you know, quite a lot of this place has been.
Yep.
No, there's I don't think you're going to see anything. If you want to, you can make me an observation check. All I will say is any observation check that's going to give you any information in here is going to be seriously tough.
Can I do a ransack check? Which is search the entire area as a single action.
You could. It's not going to give you any bonus. It's still to search. I mean, if you're kind of going through a room looking for stuff, ransack's great, and I think spy lets you do ransack, but without leaving traces that you've ransacked the room.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, you know, if you go into somebody's office or
But there's nothing
bedroom
to
or
ransack. It's an
something,
empty room. Yeah. Okay.
it is just
Do
an
we
empty room.
still have momentum?
There's 3 on me.
I would say throw away one of those momentum, and yes, you've got you've still got momentum.
Charlie, can you chuck 2 and I'll roll 3, please?
Okay.
You sure you want me to do it? Do an extra thing? But I've chucked them all. That's it. Done.
No, you didn't need to throw.
Oh, I had to throw 1 anyway.
Yeah, and one
And
more
now
for me
the other
because I
two.
can only add 1 more.
Oh, you said throw 2.
Yeah, throw
I
2.
sorted out with Louis and then throw 2.
He thought you meant 2 plus.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's what I thought as well. To be fair.
And I get to re-roll 1 of them. That's 3 successes, Louis.
That is 3 successes. That is not enough to really work anything out. It honestly, this room just seems completely.
I mean,
Empty.
Cage is with me. Would she ever look as well?
I'll tell you what. Okay,
That's only 1 anyway.
I can come in and do a better search.
go on.
Yeah.
You're not there though, are you?
I'm out in the corridor at the moment.
And I don't think she's got any observation rolls, so that's not another one anyway.
Okay. You can't. It's odd. It's sitting in your head, but it is just a large empty room that can be locked from the inside on 2 separate doors.
I'm going to say to Cage, this doesn't make sense to me. But I don't think we should move in without Aladai or Actian or Baldur. So I'm going to wait for them to come out.
So wait, Louis, is it like there's one door which can be locked from either side?
Yep.
Then there's another door which can be locked.
Only be locked from inside this
From
room.
inside.
And they're making such a fuss. I'm going to wander in and have a look.
Yeah, same.
So
Hi,
can I have an
guys.
observation look round?
Well, we've opened this door that has bolts on either side, the same as we've seen fairly commonly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I
If you
don't
lock
know.
somebody
It's
in, or lock
too
somebody
blank. There's nothing there that makes you think that there's something that should be there, but because there's nothing there, I think there should be something there. Do you know what I mean, Aladai?
Yeah, you're saying. So all we've got is another door.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's a significantly larger room than the rest.
Why would somebody lock themselves in there?
And
Well, the only thing I can think of is that this is a safety mechanism.
Yeah, I've tried to have a look around and have a look on the floor, and the craftsmanship's as good as everything else, but that doesn't mean there's something wrong with the room. But I'm just...
There's a lot weird about this place and a lot we don't understand.
Yeah, and the fact that every other room so far has had something, some form of decoration, some form of burial, some form of throne, some sort of frieze. But this is just blank, and it just doesn't work with what I understand the rest of this temple to be.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that whatever's beyond that door, they didn't want getting out. So if they were going to go into that room, they bring people in here first, lock that one, and then they open the next door. Apart from that, I've got nothing.
Maybe locking yourself inside.
Or it'd be a risk that they'd have to take.
Yeah.
Is it worth having a better look into the room? I don't know. I really don't.
I will let Actian and Aladai do a group check.
For observation check.
Group observation check.
I'm going to chuck in the last point.
Do it.
Right, so I get to roll 3.
Yeah, and I'll roll 1. So
I get to re-roll one of them. So look, what have I got for that? So I'm re-rolling one of them.
I got 1.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so you got 5 in total. Okay, so it is subtle. Bear with me, half a tech. Have I got? No, I haven't. Right, okay. It is subtle, and I've suddenly realised that I don't have the a marker on here. Come on. But there are 3 points in this room. One just here. One just here.
Where? Oh,
can you not see it?
I can do it now.
Yes, you can. Okay. And one there, where the walls are dressed with kind of stone slabs, and in those 3 areas, you're fairly sure that the stone slabs have been fitted probably later rather than earlier than the others. But there's kind of minor little bits and pieces in the way they fit together, and you can actually see kind of mortar. I mean, only kind of like a millimetre or 2, but you can see like mortar in there, where with the other slabs, they're just so beautifully lined up that you can't see anything there. So there are these 3 areas where slabs have been fitted later than others.
Do they look a similar size to the shelves that had the people on?
No. If anything, you'd suggest they were probably a similar size to the doorways you've just come through.
Okay. And similar, well. Okay, so we'll pick the first one, nearest the door.
Okay.
Where are you going?
Yeah, where?
The first blue square nearest the door.
What? Why are you going there for? I didn't find anything.
No, Genghis, look, look at
some
the
shapes
stone.
in there. I run the tip of my sword down the joint, down one edge.
Why didn't I? Wow, good find, guys. I don't know how I didn't see that.
So I run my tip of my sword down the edge and see if there's any gap.
You're not able to make a bigger gap.
If there is anything behind it, someone wanted to cover it up very, very well.
So can we press hard on it and step back and see if they spring open? Or one of them.
Yeah, they don't.
All right.
you kind of go pushing
Don't
them.
get
I
any
mean, there's
movement.
there's multiple slabs in there, but you push them and you're trying to see if there's any point where they shift. There's nothing there.
Okay.
From within the room, I'm going to have a better look around to the point, Louis. So they've highlighted these 3 slab doors.
Yeah.
I'm going to start feeling along the walls because I've seen the gap from the doors or these slabs. So I'm going to see if there's any form of mechanism to release them.
Yeah, you can you spend kind of a good kind of 15-20 minutes just trying here, pushing there. Maybe this will shift. There's nothing. Nothing is making these things move.
I've got a picture in my head of him doing a Marcel on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a vision Cager might get a bit peed off and try and
hit it.
Move it with her battle axe.
No, she's not had to damage her battle axe. Potentially.
I mean, these are big bits of kind of solid dressed granite.
Yeah.
You hit that with a battle axe, you're going to end up denting the battle axe.
And she looks after our weapons.
I think Cager would know that. She'd be more likely to, I don't know, hit it with somebody else's head to see if it shifted than she would do use tact on it.
I mean, everything else has been so very carefully crafted. I mean, would it be worth sort of pushing one of the ends, trying to see if there was a swing mechanism or a latch mechanism?
I've had a good lean on it. I can't
pretty
get
much already tried that.
Oh, I don't know what we can do. If there was any kind of door here, I think it's been properly sealed.
I think they've sealed it, whatever it was.
And there's absolutely nothing we could get into.
But we may find something further on that is a release mechanism. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
If you came back with crowbars or something like that, you might be able to do it.
But we don't have any.
But you haven't got crowbars on you.
Or 50-foot of rope.
See, I don't know what Cage's actually got on her.
Not a crowbar.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about we talked about crowbars before when you were looking at the sarcophagus, and we decided that.
And the flapping down bit of floor.
Yeah.
If anyone had a crowbar, Aladai would have a crowbar, and Aladai does not have a crowbar.
Which is a bit of a pity. It would have come in useful, but.
Yep. No, nobody's got anything. So are we going to go back out and lock the door?
Yeah. Genghis will make a point of locking the door
from the outside. Yep. Leave the inside door open, but not this door.
Yep.
Okay. Action's looking a bit bored.
I think we're at the point now where we're going to have to raise the gate.
Use the capstans and raise the portcullises. Do we want to raise the first one first and walk up and look through?
I mean, I think they're portcullises. I think we can clearly see through both anyway.
I know, but we can only see a straight line. If we go down to the second one, we might be able to see more in the room before we open.
Is there any way to wedge them open?
If you turn these things, they don't automatically drop.
You have to wind them up and wind them
So
down.
you wind them up and wind them down.
Good.
They're not like those annoying things which slowly wind back. Like,
No.
And you hear a
So I suggest we wind up the first one and go and somebody goes and has a look through the second one.
like Prince of Persia, Sands of Time or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wait by the first portcullis because I'm not physically adept.
And I know how to use capstans, so I'll go in and organise and wind.
Okay. So a couple of you go in.
I'll take Baldor with me.
Okay. Yeah, the two of you managed to get the capstan working. It's tough. It hasn't been used for quite a long time, and it's made basically out of stone. So
Yeah. pretty heavy.
It's hard work, but you managed to get it open. So those of you standing out in the corridor see this portcullis just like winch up into the ceiling. If you head forward with your lamps and look through the second one, then
Can we stick our head back out the corridor and watch?
you can see that the room there is, like I say, it opens out. It's quite a large, hefty room. There is a stone door on the south side of it you've already seen, but yeah, it is barred both high and low with these big chunks of stone, which are going to be quite difficult to get down. But other than that, you can't see anything else in there. The room appears to be empty.
Okay, I'm going
I'm
to
going to shout at Genghis, ask Genghis, is it all clear? So we open the second portcullis.
Yeah, I'm going to call back. Raise the next one.
Aladar would kind of send his voice to Genghis. You know, if we've been talking about them keeping something in, I don't feel that this bodes very well. 2 portcullises, big stone door.
Yeah.
We're winding the capstan now.
However, I'm going to so this is a conversation going on. I'm going to say to Aladai, agreed. However, we know that our path back is all but locked. We have only one way forward.
Portcullis is up.
Yeah. He would kind of laugh and like, yeah, right you are.
We've hit the end of the capstan, so we're walking around to have a look Baldor and I have to rejoin.
Right, onwards then.
Okay. So I'm guessing you want to take the big stone things that are barring the door down.
Can we examine them a little bit first, or is it just blank and plain?
They're just blank, plain, utilitarian lumps of stone. You can actually slide them sideways. There are a couple of supports on the wall so that you can slide. Each one goes in the opposite direction, and you can slide it across and it stays up on the wall. But yeah, basically they're just big lumps of stone that you can push sideways. But there ain't nothing coming through that door with those in place. Not unless they knock through the door.
How many are there?
There's 2. One huge big bar. I mean, like that tall.
That's fine. We'll move the difficult one first, and then move the easy to move one, so it's easy. Just so it comes through.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably about as difficult to move as one another, but you know,
it's height. One must be higher than the other or whatever, so it won't be easy to reach.
Yeah. So you slide them aside, and then probably get a quick breather.
And Baldor's going to stand back by just this side of the portcullis, the open portcullis, with his bow.
Yeah. Okay. So once you've had a bit of a breather, do you want to pull this door open?
I'm putting my lamp down on the back corner room near the portcullis. Get my shield ready, just in case.
Yeah. That's probably a wise move.
You never know.
Genghis, quite rightly, is going to be sat there with a bow ready.
But you're not going to open the door?
Hell no.
You've rushed in there, you've looked at it all, and now you're going to run away with your bow.
I'm not running away, I'm covering your asses.
All right.
I'm not sure you can blame the man. Okay, so as you pull this huge stone door open.
How many of us does it take?
It's going to take 2 of you.
So it's 2. So it's me and
Cage is up there.
Cager and Actian are going to do it then. Okay.
So
sense.
as you pull this huge stone door inward, there is a wave of cool, damp air that hits you. It kind of washes out into the room. You'd almost by this point forgotten how desiccated and dry the air in this ancient tomb that you've been walking around has been. And as you open this, there's just this moisture with a slightly musty. Musty's not necessarily the right word, but organic smell to it. But just moisture. You can almost feel like the pores on your skin opening and go, oh, you'll have some of that. Looking beyond it, you can say
it's a cave.
I can see a big black patch and nothing else.
Yeah, scroll up.
That's better, right? Okay.
Okay, so what you can see immediately in front of you, I'll just zoom out a little bit. Yeah, what you can see immediately in front of you is a kind of chiseled, constructed corridor leads out about, I don't know, 7 foot, something like that, the other side of the door. And then it quite quickly becomes a naturally, what appears to be a sort of natural rough stone passageway, which starts to slope down from it.
Can I do your check? Who's holding the lamp? I'm going to go back and pick mine up.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing immediately comes out at you. One of you, probably Actian, but it might be Genghis. It'll be somebody with a good observation skill. Will notice on the outside of the door, there are scrapes and occasional kind of gouges. Gouges, this is the wrong word, but it's like
You mean
deep
the door, the
scratches.
side that was in the room, or the side that was in the corridor?
The side the side that was the side you've only just seen.
Oh, right, so it's the one that was in the corridor once we opened it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think I would see that.
I'm
Not
opening
for
the door.
anything other than I would look at that. I think a bit of colour would leave my face a little bit, and I would turn to Aladai. If I got his attention straight away, brilliant. If not, I go Aladai, and I just point to the gouges in the back of the door.
Yeah, he would give you a look which, like, you can't see much of his face, but it's a look of like, yep, thought so.
And at this point, I mean, Genghis has been nervous and cautious throughout. Every single step now, he looks like a hunter on a prowl. His senses are ridiculously heightened. He's not just walking ahead, he's gently trying to place his foot on a single point and roll it so the sound he makes is minimal. All that training that his father and his grandfathers taught him to hunt is now just pounding in the back of his head.
Okay, just clanking away along.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't think Genghis even hears what Cage is doing. In his own mind, he's just completely focused on being invisible. Being invisible.
Yeah.
The enemy do not know you're there. The only time they know you're there is when it's too late to know you're there.
Okay.
I suggest.
Actually in sort of in pirate mode, looking out for treasure.
And in fact, I think at this point, Genghis would have actually, even without thinking, Louis, placed one of the standard arrows into his quiver and drawn the third of his envenomed arrows.
Okay.
And I would see them. Be like, I forgot I had those. I've still got to do something with them.
I thought you had, because I wondered why you hadn't used them yet.
I've not had a chance to sit down and figure
Yeah,
out
you've
how.
only had one
Because
night, haven't since
you
you
drew
found them.
the
I've
poison
just got the
sack,
whole
didn't you?
sacks, yeah.
So I mean, if you're happy for me to jam some more arrows in it.
I think I had 2, so
No, you took one and I took one.
you took one. That's it.
Well, no, I didn't take one. I rammed
Well, you
arrows
rammed the
into
stuff
one,
in it, and I
and you
safely,
carefully drew the
gently
sack
took
out.
it out,
Yeah.
Okay, Baldur's going to be carrying the oil. Pick up a flask of oil.
Yay!
He's got it in a backpack.
You get in the backpack.
It's probably getting on for half empty by now.
Yeah.
That's quite light then.
So I've got my lamp and I'm standing at the entrance to the corridor. I'm just waving Cage to come with me and we're going to step in.
Aladai would kindly be followed with. No, no. From here on out, I am going first. And the rest of you are leaving a sizable gap behind me.
So, Aladai's going first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it wide enough for 2 people or 1?
Even if it is wide enough for 2, Aladai's like, no.
No, I'm asking. I'm asking for following. You see.
It varies.
Okay, fine.
You know, there's points where it's a little bit wider, and you could probably just about walk 2 abreast, but mostly you're only going to be walking 1 abreast.
You want to go around the outsides of the corners to see what's coming up anyway. So
I think the only person with somewhat close skills to Aladai is Genghis anyway.
I was going to say, Aladai wouldn't be opposed to Genghis being up second.
We're going for that?
No, hell no. Genghis is taking the rear.
He's volunteered. He's volunteered.
Oh, no, he hasn't.
Genghis is keeping a sharp lookout in case any of those undead things are coming down behind you.
Well, I'm going behind him then. I'm reasonably.
Right,
Yeah,
let's not take this the wrong way, right? Okay. Whenever we've had a fight, Kaja and Actian like to charge in and cover the front ranks, and Genghis is happy firing shots over the rear. With the amount of gap that Aladai wants between Kaja, Actian, and himself, Genghis does not feel comfortable that they could cover that time before they get into melee range. Genghis ain't silly. He is taking the rear.
Okay, Baldur's going to be just in front of him because he's got a bow as well and his whip.
So we got Aladai, Actian, Kaja, Baldur, and then Genghis.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's quite a gap.
How big's quite a gap? Because you must have told me before you went. Keep you in sight just?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
30
And
feet.
everybody else can clank along behind.
Roundabout, a bit less maybe. 25.
Yeah.
So Aladai's got lamp in one hand and sword in the other.
If Aladai's got a lamp, then I can clearly see him, which is brilliant.
Yeah. No, he'd probably have a dagger. Though in his mind is like sword better, more damage. It's just he's back into like assassin mode when he was in being an assassin in Stygia and just complete stealth. So he's automatically gone for his dagger, even though
In the dark with a lamp, he's gone for stealth. Right. Okay.
Well, the thing is with everything else we've had so far is the light hasn't mattered.
Oh, it's sound.
It's the sound. This might prove a problem here, but we don't know that yet.
Okay, so you creep along the corridor, and it
We're 15 feet behind, all right?
continues to open up until it gets to a slight opening at the top of a set of stairs, and you can see the stairs are hollowed out of the rock. They're uneven. The step heights as well as the step depths are uneven, and they kind of wind down. And on the left hand side of the stairs, it falls away, and you can see below it that the staircase rolls round behind, and then comes back towards you.
All right.
It's not particularly steep, you know, but it's steep enough that if it was a slope, it would be a bit iffy.
Yeah.
So there are these kind of stairs that have been rudimentarily kind of hacked into the slope of the passageway.
Allardyce motion to Actium when he comes into range. Just there's a drop here. Don't walk off it before going round. Yeah, but you're in pirate mode. You're looking at the ground.
Is there any sort of stalagmite build-up or anything like that from dripping water?
No, there isn't a lot of dripping water. There's moisture in the air.
Moist.
But it's moisture rather than actually dripping water.
Okay. So it's not going to be wet and slippery. Right, okay, just checking.
Yeah.
I'll wait. I'll look over the edge and watch Allardyce walk down to the bottom of the steps before I follow him.
Yeah. Okay, so Allardyce, I would like you to make me an observation check.
2.
Okay.
Is that
You got 2 successes off it.
Or a 2?
Okay.
Successes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. You notice not far below the bottom stair. I'm guessing you've gone down the stairs.
Yeah.
As you're just about to step off the bottom stair, you notice what looks like a tripwire across the bottom stair. And if you look around and kind of really look up and about, you can spot what looks for all the world like a tree trunk up in the roof.
He'd kind of chuckle to himself very quietly and be like, "Oh, I've missed this." Does he reckon it would be at all possible to trigger it without it hitting, or would it just be safer to completely avoid it? Just thinking about all the others in the heavy armor and...
If you knew it was there, it would not be too difficult to avoid. If you trigger it, then you probably don't want to be very close to where the tripwire actually is.
And I'd kind of run these things over in his head for a moment, aware of the options, be like, yeah, better to leave it and just make sure everyone else knows.
Well, we're standing at the top of the... I'm standing at the top of the top step at the moment, watching you below.
Yeah, you'd probably be able to see one another just about from where you were.
I'd motion for you guys to keep coming.
Okay,
Wouldn't move on until they were within focal range. So
Yeah,
he'd let you catch up for a moment. And explain. There's a tripwire connected to a tree trunk. Now, granted, I don't know how long the tree trunk's been there, but it will still hurt if it hits you. So we've got to be extremely careful over the wire.
Okay. I'll stand back a bit as you get to let Allardyce go ahead.
Allardyce would go ahead.
Okay. As the passageway it narrows briefly, and then as it opens up, still sloping down, you get to about an 8-foot, maybe 10-foot drop in front of you, and the passageway and on either side there are now these rough-hewn steps on a slope down towards the bottom of the cavern.
Can we take a quick toilet break, Louis?
Yeah, we can.
Getting through quick.
I tell you what, give me a minute and then yes.
Yeah, cool. That's fine.
So what you can see in the rest of the chamber is... Let's do this slowly and properly. Right. So you can see the staircases come down onto this onto the floor of the chamber, and then off on the far walls there are various wooden platforms.
That looks like a chamber of
staircases arranged on them. So let me just open the right screen. So there is a ladder there which leads up onto this chamber, onto this platform here, which is pretty much on the same height as the as where you came in. There's what looks like an opening into another passageway there. Again, you can get up onto this section here using a ladder. There's another ladder there, and actually you probably wouldn't be able to see this from where you are, but there is a further entranceway there. So, yeah, if we want to take a couple of minute break, now looks like sounds like a good time to do that.
Yep.
So
yeah, put the kettle on.
All right. I'm glad Ollie knows what I'm on about.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about it, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you in a couple.
Yep. Hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
It actually scarily looks like that Skyrim map, you know.
Does it?
Yeah, so you come in, you can branch left or right, then you sort of cross a little river bit. You've got a back wall. So where that back wall is there, just there, which is your dragon shout. You got an undead mummy lord that comes out of a coffin there. This way led to a sort of waterfall with a treasure chest and bits and pieces. And this way,
other people might be watching this.
I remember exactly what you're talking about.
And this way up there led to the exit out of the chamber. So you do know.
He's gone muted.
He's gone muted.
He's sat on his mute control.
No, I ain't. I pulled my headphone out by accident.
But
it does. Doesn't it resemble that area?
Can I just point out, okay, because I don't know if anybody's quite put this together, but let me just go. Does that not remind you of quite a chunk of Skyrim as well.
It did, but I wasn't too. I
Never
was
played
like,
it, so I wouldn't know.
yeah, okay, yeah, maybe. And then as soon as I saw
the
that
burial
room,
niches for the Draugr.
yes,
The big hallway with the
and the swinging spiked gates at you, and
yeah,
But
I haven't used those yet, have I?
I was like, yeah, okay. And I just thought it maybe, but as soon as I saw that next layer, I was like, he's just taking this out of Skyrim.
I've never played it, so I wouldn't know.
I mapped it all myself. You don't know what you're missing. It's a fantastic game.
I actually liked 4, to be honest.
Dominion, not Dominion.
Oblivion.
Oblivion. Yeah.
Oblivion's good.
I really liked Oblivion.
Until
Skyrim's got such a better. It's so much more polished, which is a pity because I really like Oblivion.
Yeah, I mean, I was a big RPGer for a long time, and things like Baldur's Gate,
Baldur's
Gate, Temple of Elemental Evil, I loved. But there was one called Icewind Dale. I don't know if you remember it.
I have the Icewind Dale trilogy.
I have them including the expansion packs for every single one of the Icewind Dales.
You know that was all based on 2nd edition AD&D, I believe.
It was indeed, yes.
So all of the rules were, if you got 2nd edition AD&D, you could work out what was happening mechanically.
Yes.
For those rewatching this is the ramblings of the GM.
I loved that. But there was also one called, I can't remember, that was based around the Middle East.
Al-Qadim.
No.
I don't think they ever did an Al-Qadim one.
No, they didn't. I was just...
So shall we step over the tripwire and catch you up?
Not catch me up, no, but yes.
Head to where you're standing now.
Mm.
I don't know if you've moved on yet. You're still standing there, taking in the scene, I think.
Yeah.
Trying to decide whether to go left or right.
Shall I go left or shall I go... Well, we don't know this because we can only see him standing there.
Yeah.
From behind the tripwire.
Or just in front of the tripwire, depending.
No, well, just behind it at the moment. I'm not moving until he gets 15 feet away. I'm following instructions. And everybody else is behind me, so they're following instructions.
I do have to moment would look and be like, oh, come on.
Right.
Might of Magic was a good RPG game.
Skip over the tripwire like it wasn't even there.
Yeah. Okay. So like I say, you get to the top, and there's just like these 2 slopes that roll down with stairs carved in them.
Yeah.
And there's wooden platforms up on the far wall.
I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't expecting wooden platforms.
No, nor was I.
To be fair, I'm not exactly sure what I was expecting, but it was not this.
Allardyce actually talking more than I'd feel comfortable with him talking at the moment.
Well, he's been leading so far, so I'm quite happy for him to make sense. Or seem to make sense.
So
where are we now? Where are we?
Standing at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
The 2 rows of stairs.
Okay. I'm staying there.
And so Baldur.
Whichever way anyone goes, I'm staying there with my bow at the top.
And Baldur's got the same job. He's going to stand to your right and break out his bow. His Ossian bow.
Does there look like there's any crypts or coffins or anything?
There's no movement, nothing down.
No, not that you can see.
So I look at Allardyce and ask him which way he's going. Whisper to him, ask him which way he's going.
How well's the room lit, if at all, Louis?
It's completely black.
Other than our lamp.
Your lamp is your lamps are the only thing
right.
that is casting any light at all.
And we can see as far as the lamp. So basically, what you've unlocked is what the lamp is showing at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there, or can I make out? Bearing in mind there was a huge stone door that had gouges on it. Can I make out scratches or gouges on the wooden platforms?
Not from up here.
That's a
I
good
think
point, though.
scratches rather than gouges is probably a better term. But yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to look at Aladai, do a claw scratch hand signal.
Okay, you know what I should have told you, and I haven't. So I will tell you now, and apologies. The back of the door was covered with lichen, and quite a few of the most of the scratches were also, they did not look particularly recent.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have told you that.
Lichen.
Yeah.
Where
That's
was
all right. Okay.
Lichen.
Yeah, Aladai would nod. Do we have two lamps?
I have a lamp,
You have a lamp. I have a lamp.
and Baldor's probably
Yeah,
got a lamp.
no,
but he's put
we
his
lost
down.
we lost a couple, didn't we?
Couple.
So I think we're down to 2.
So Aladai would like motion. He's going to go left. Action, go right.
Can I
Go
ask
round. Meet up by
Quick
the ladder.
check. The ladder that you told us about, is that the only way up to the wooden platforms?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And
I mean,
that's
you could try
there,
and
yeah.
No, I was
Yeah.
just asking. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like those bits of stairs. They're edges. Right. Okay.
no, they're edges.
Right.
Each platform's slightly higher than the last.
And there's a ladder to each.
So that's the ladder.
Yeah,
Yep.
And
I was
that's
just
the
checking.
that's
So
right.
yeah, Aladai would motion to action. Like go round. Meet up by the ladder.
Which way are you going?
I'll go left.
Good, because I was going to go right.
Well, that works then.
So what's these marks here?
Those look like little barriers or barricades that are built up there.
Railings or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. More like little barricades.
Mhm.
Your immediate thing is somebody could hide behind those
Okay.
and get some cover from.
I am looking in that direction with my bow.
Well,
Okay.
in theory, you'd be following someone, and Baldor will be following the other group, keeping
No.
them ahead of them.
No, I'm not.
No, they're staying on the
No,
stairs.
I am
No, they're
staying.
staying there. but
I'm
you're
staying on
looking
top
after
of the
person you're
stairs.
covering.
Oh right, yeah, no, I get it. He means they're like following where we're moving. So,
Following
Yeah.
where we're moving and covering ahead in case
Yeah.
something appears.
My bow is aiming there, even though
Yeah.
my eyes might be glancing at the party as they're moving. But that is
Yeah.
my primary area of focus.
And Baldor's focusing the other hole.
Yeah. Okay. You two both get down to the kind of.
And Cage is coming round as well.
Cage would go down with Aladai too.
Okay. Okay, that'll make him feel a lot more stealthy.
Yeah. It's his choice. What does he want to do?
No, that's all right.
he doesn't. He doesn't.
You
Alright.
guys get down to the bottom. There's now the 3 of you standing at the bottom near the ladder.
So, with that, as we've got the only lights, can I see what's on the stage?
Can you see what's on the?
Can they see what's on the stage, or can they only see where our light goes?
They now won't be able to see pretty much the top of that because you guys have got the 2 lights that are active with you.
Yeah.
So that
I was
then
thinking-
does fall. It falls into shadow. It doesn't fall into complete darkness.
There's a bit of reflection around the room. Yeah, okay.
I would whisper, "Someone take the light up first."
So, who's going up first?
Actian, make me an observation roll.
That's 4.
Oh. You know what? I'm even going to give you a couple of momentum back for that because that was a lot more than I was expecting. The wooden ladder looks as though not like in the last day or two, but given the dampness in the area and the way there's kind of moss and stuff all over the walls. The ladder itself seems to be moderately new, and once you've looked at that, looking around, it looks as though the wooden platforms have had some kind of maintenance done to them over the years.
Does the ladder rung scratched and marked with claws or anything like that? Just based on what we saw on the stone door, so I'd be looking out for that.
It looks as though something's gone up and down it. It doesn't look like there's claw marks necessarily. But it looks as though something has occasionally used the ladder. It doesn't look like anything's used it particularly recently.
Right. But it looks more recent than, say, where we were beforehand.
It looks like it had some recent use within
the last month or two, something's been up and down this ladder. You can tell that from the growth on it, and the woodwork's been patched up. Acting as a sailor, he's used to seeing wood that's been left damp and that's got to be treated and renewed occasionally. This wood, you know, if your impression when you were in the tomb above was that thousands of years had passed since anybody had been in there. If this woodwork had been left in this atmosphere for even 100 years, it would have rotted away to nearly nothing. So it looks like it's been renewed at various points.
Yeah, interesting. I'm eyeing the ladder up. I'm going to look at Allardyce and I'll point that I'm going up the ladder.
Be my guest.
So I'll put my sword away, lamp in one hand and cutlass. Being a sailor, I should be able to manage that.
Okay. At the point in Alien where you just get the eyes coming up above the level of the hatchway. And
the lamp following. One arm with the lamp coming over the top.
It's wooden planking on what looks like branches or tree trunks, which seems a bit odd down here, but it's a wooden platform. You can't see anything moving. Genghis breathes a sigh of relief as he can finally see back into the opening in the rock face up there.
I'll give him a quick wave and get the sword back out.
Yeah, it's.
Allardyce would follow up after a moment.
Okay. It's a largish wooden platform. It's substantial. It seems to be fairly solid, and it's it stretches off flat towards the opening. That's, like I say, the opening off to that northeastern corner is a good 8 feet off the ground of this chamber. And it all appears to be kind of naturally just. I mean, apart from the stairs, you'd say you were just in a natural cavern. It doesn't look like anything's chiselled this out.
Somebody's added wood just to get levels here.
Yeah.
Okay. Allardyce, are you going to have a look down this little corridor once Cage is up?
Yep, sure.
We'll hang around on the platform. If that's your plan.
Yep. He wouldn't go too far, but he would just
stick his head around the corner, have a look.
Yeah.
Wave his torch.
Okay. Sorry, just let me double check something. I should have printed this out. Every time I print it out, I then change something and something else is wrong.
I think Cage and I would stay near the top of the ladder, which came up, while Allardyce heads off around the corner.
Okay.
That would give the other two a clean field of fire if they need it.
Okay. So, where's Genghis and Baldur? Are they coming up? Are they staying put at the moment?
How far away are they? That's the first question.
Only about 15, 20 feet from
them. Yeah, you're only about that. Yeah.
Baldur would stay there because his bow's a medium range weapon.
if they were thinking of heading through that corridor there,
Yeah.
I would join them. But if they wanted to move up to future levels
Yeah.
by going up the ladders, then I would stay where I am and offer them cover.
I'll
So
stay there.
I'd say stay for now.
Allardyce's looking to go into that corridor there, but only Allardyce's going to look into that corridor there.
in which case I would travel with him because I know
Okay.
that I'm stealthy. I know Baldur's got his shoulder, so I would hiss to Allardyce, wait. And again, very stealthily, using my cat-like reflexes, I'd move along, climb up the ladder, and fix myself 5 feet behind Allardyce's shoulder.
Cool.
I was looking a bit nervous because he'd been left alone.
I've learned before not to sit right on Allardyce's shoulder because he does have slightly better skills than me. But I appreciate the fact that he respects my stealthy ability as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Allardyce and
Genghis.
Allardyce and Genghis are walking in there. The others are staying behind. Baldur's staying on this rapidly darkening platform.
Exactly.
Okay. Right. I would like both of you separately to make me stealth checks.
Roger the Dodger. So my stealth is. I can never remember this. That's that. 2.
So what? 2 successes?
Yes.
Do I want to use a? Might as well use one of the momentum we've got.
Oh, we should have cleared one of those momentum. No, those momentum came from a check while we were down here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll take 1 if that's all right, Charlie.
Yeah, it's party momentum. Yep.
Thank you. Let's just delete that out of the way.
Nice.
Oh shit. I don't think I get to re-roll any of them.
No.
So I've got a success.
Okay, you got one
Easier?
success.
But there's a slight complication in that as well.
And you're trained in momentum, aren't you? Oh, God, wait, don't open that.
Trained in momentum.
Trained to momentum.
Sorry.
I'm an
Trained-
expert in
You're
momentum.
an expert in momentum.
19 is not a critical
where's your
failure. No.
stealth gone?
So that's
Stealth gone,
good.
stealth gone. Yeah, okay, so 19's not a complication, just the 20 then.
Yes.
Alan,
Okay.
keep the lamp away from him.
So, the passageway curves on, and then you find yourself coming out into a large open area.
Ooh. No, boss fight, back away.
Okay, there are. Okay, that was what I was doing. Right. Okay. So yeah, the cave opens up. It still looks natural. There are a few stalactites hanging down. The floor of the cave looks to be covered in mushrooms. Not, I hasten to add, these vast kind of D&D
Centre of the
style
earth ones.
6 feet tall ones with arms, but these are just kind of like they're quite chunky mushrooms. You know, they're 3 or 4 inches tall, and there's clusters of them.
They move.
The floor is covered in these mushrooms. Interestingly, they seem to just be within that cave.
Mm.
And Allardyce, as he scans around the cave, spots that there are areas which it looks as though the mushrooms have been trimmed or pulled out. And there's a walkway through there. I would like Genghis to make me a dodge roll, please.
A dodge roll.
A
Versus
dodge roll.
mushroom.
Dodge versus mushroom.
Not dodge versus mushroom, just dodge.
Where's the
Where's
roll?
dodge? Is that an athletics?
Acrobatics?
Now where are we?
It'd be an
Acrobatics,
agility
I would've thought,
acrobatics
since
roll,
it's
wouldn't it?
Not use that much. It's not
got to be-
parry.
It's got to be
acrobatics.
acrobatics.
It is an acrobatics check.
Yeah.
Yes. So make me an acrobatics check.
9.
How does 2 sound?
2 sounds not bad. Okay.
Like a ninja. All my training. Become like the wind. You are the wind.
We'll find out.
That's what the smell is.
2 doesn't sound quite so good, actually.
You sure?
Okay. Yeah. You get hit, but you only get hit with 1 momentum. These
One moment.
spears come out of the darkness at you. They all seem to be aimed at Genghis. None of them seem to be aimed at Aladai, which is slightly strange given that he's the one carrying the lamp.
Is that stealthy? Floating lamp.
Okay. Genghis takes 5 damage
Location?
from that location. I knew there was something. Torso.
Just so.
So I've got a soak of 2 for that.
Well, hey.
Okay. So yeah, this spear kind of grazes you as you try and twist away. There's 3 spears come flying out of the darkness at you, and you twist out of the way, and one of them just kind of cuts across your abdomen, just like ripping through your armor a little bit, just giving you a kind of nasty scrape.
So I matrix 2 of them, but unfortunately...
You matrix 2 of them, but...
The point, I wish I had smoke powder so I could just play. Nope. And we leg it.
Yeah.
I have to invest in that when we get.
Do I see where they came from?
They came from deep within the cave. Make me an observation. Actually, both of you can make me an observation check.
I get to re-roll one of them.
Ooh.
I got 2 again.
I got 4, Louis.
Okay. This is pretty good. I'm going to say we're now in combat. Okay. So there are a cluster of people, it looks like, in the far end of the cave. And in fact, on a score of 4, you see a couple more figures come from the cave mouth at the end of the cave by the light of Aladai's lamp.
Totaling how many? If you can see them all.
You can see 5 at the moment.
Okay.
So combat. You guys have the initiative.
Those guys have the initiative.
No, we have the initiative.
No, you now have the initiative. Basically, you've...
No, those guys have the initiative because we're outside. We don't know things.
However, as this spear strikes my belly, I would have gone, "Yeah!" And you might have heard that.
Okay.
Well,
So
a little echo, yeah.
I think you've tripped over a rock in the dark.
And dropped something, because you can hear
And
a
dropped
clatter, clatter, clatter as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're standing outside. I've got to wait for Baldur to come up even because he's got no lamp.
Aladai would kind of just be like, "Let's back up."
Well,
Back up.
let's start with Genghis. Or should we start with Aladai? One of you two needs to start.
And do something.
You are both aware of these figures the far end of the cave.
No, Genghis is going to stop. He's just had a spear sort of knock into his armor.
He's had worse.
He has had worse, but he doesn't like it. So he's going to look for. I mean, did that give me enough to identify if one looked more authoritative than the other, or did I just make shapes out?
You can just see human shapes at the far end of the cave. The cave's a good 25-30 feet long. You've got a crappy oil lamp, so they're there, but they're in the in the distance.
Okay, so immediately stopping. I'm not going to move just yet. I'm actually going to go. Good shot. My turn. I'm going to shoot back.
Okay. Right. Roll me for attack.
So
now difficulty is 2 because of the lighting.
Appreciate that. That's cool. I'm going to use one of my momentum to gain an extra d20.
Yeah.
I just moved that into the shadow, but that makes no difference anyway. Yeah, okay. That is a 2, 3 successes.
Okay. Okay.
And because I've hit, I gain an additional momentum, and as I haven't moved, I also gain an additional momentum.
Okay, so you would get 1 momentum for that anyway, so you get 3 momentum for that. Do you want to roll for damage now, or do you want to... I'll give you the momentum, but if you're about to spend the momentum, there's not a vast amount of point in...
Well, I'm going to roll the damage first, because remember, I've got my poisoned arrow knocked.
Oh, yeah.
So there's... Oh, shit, wrong one. Let me try rolling combat die. Shall I?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Those are all successes.
I get to re-roll one of them, actually. In my damage.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, hello. Hello.
Okay, so that's 7. And did we say... I'm trying to think. That was...
I can't remember what poison does.
Piercing.
No, they don't get piercing, but
they take damage per turn equal to the number of effects I've rolled.
That's it.
So
or is it?
1 per turn.
I thought they took 1 damage or 2 damage
For the number of effects.
but it was the number of turns.
Oh,
it was
maybe.
how long they took it.
So it's 1 effect.
Okay, that was no, that was right, Louis. It was the number of turns, not the amount of damage, and the damage was.
Have you got a note? Have you got a note of what the arrows are?
All it said was envenomed. Envenomed arrows. I see. I didn't get. You didn't give me the damage.
That's really annoying because I can't find it to hand now. I've got when you had an exploit, but I haven't got my notes. Don't go back that far. Okay, we'll call it a Venom 1. So you do 1 extra damage per round that you rolled an effect for. So in this case, it's going to be 1 extra round because you rolled 1 effect. Actually, hang on a sec.
There is a poison.
Is it only to the creature he hits as well?
I don't want the constrictor snakes. I want the venom snakes. Which I can't find on here. Okay, I'm going to call it Venomed 1. Okay, so this round that does 8 damage. Okay, so you loose off that arrow and you loose off another couple of arrows. A couple of normal arrows as well. And one of these guys drops. Okay, so one of them drops, and the one next to them is definitely not looking good.
Is he the poison?
It looks like you definitely managed to hit more than one of them. The one that you hit with the poisoned arrow just goes down.
So poison's done.
Yep. So I've gained 3 momentum anyway.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna have another pop if no one's got an objection.
Okay. So
Nice.
2 momentum to get a second shot in.
Yep, and I'll use 1 for an extra d20.
Okay. Yep.
Cool. Oh, that's not good.
That's not so good. Is that only 1?
It's only one. Maximum one.
Yeah.
Ranged weapons. Yeah, you got 313.
Yeah.
So that's only 1. Okay, so in the darkness, and because that's a 3, because it's 2 for the darkness and 3 because it's an extra difficulty because it's a swift action. So yeah, you managed to fire off another couple of arrows, but they just you are literally firing at shadows as the flame from Aladai's lamp starts to flicker. You're just, you think you're firing at a body, and then as the arrow's in flight, you suddenly realise you're not. You're just firing. So you're trying to get that many shots out. Okay, Aladai, what do you want to do?
I mean, his main thing here is there's less of them now than there was, but there's still more of them than there are us. So his main priority is getting back to the larger group. But would a throwing dagger be viable at this range, or is it a bit far? Would you say?
No, you could throw a dagger at this range. I'm still going to call that close range. So yeah, you could throw a dagger.
He'd probably try that then, as he's then going to try and sneak back around the corner.
Okay.
Less sneaky now, but...
Difficulty is automatically a 2.
Yep.
Just because of the darkness. Go for it.
We will use a fortune.
Ooh.
Oh, go Aladai.
Partially because that didn't work.
You also have 2 momentum in the pool at the moment.
Yeah, I know, but also
Yeah,
don't
no,
wanna
I'm
miss.
not
He don't wanna
saying
miss.
don't use a fortune. I'm just saying it's that you do also have momentum. I'm not telling you to use the momentum. Okay, so the fortune gives you an extra dice, which is already pre-rolled at a 1, so you already have 2 successes on that.
And we have another 2.
Another 2, so 4 successes. You only needed 2 to hit, so there's another 2 momentum. You've got 2 personal momentum to use before they drop into the pool. So roll me your damage.
So
Plus 2 for being a ranged weapon.
So that's 5. Yes. Okay. That's 2 2s.
Are you throwing particularly at the guy who has already been hit, or are you throwing? No.
Different one.
Okay.
So 2 2s, a 5 and a 6.
For 6 damage and 2 effects.
And a 1.
7 damage and 2 effects.
7 damage and 2 effects. Do you get any effects on thrown?
Nope.
Exploit. Do you?
No exploits, so I don't get unforgiving.
Okay, so 7 damage. Okay, so you drop one of these guys, and you're pulling out more than one dagger. You can pull out more than one dagger and throw it. So one of these guys goes down, and you're fairly confident you hit another one as well. The other thing that I will say is, actually, can both of you? I'm not going to give you momentum for this, but just roll me an observation check each.
2 again.
7 and 13, so 2 12s. That's 1, but I get to reroll any one of them. Yeah, just 1.
Okay, 1. Okay. Genghis, you notice they don't cry out when they're hit, when they go down, which is unusual. Aladai, you hear... You just get a... How old's Aladai?
Mid-20s.
Okay. There is this... almost like whine, high-pitched whine, as both when they're struck by the arrows and when they're struck by the knives. There's just like this... Oh... just almost like a dog whistle on the edge of hearing, that you hear. It completely bypasses Genghis, but that's what you hear. Okay, so you guys trying to move further back down the passageway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Is Genghis going to as well?
Um,
Actually, Genghis can't because hasn't moved. You specified you weren't moving this round because that was what gave you the extra momentum.
No, I think I'm determined that I know Aladai would want to go for support, so I'm going to keep the pressure on.
Okay.
We've got 2 down and 2 injured, so.
Okay, so
There were 5.
Yeah, and exactly. So they're injured, so they've got to be harder. They've got to make it harder for them to hit us.
Okay, they are going to get a shot in at Genghis. That's interesting. Okay, so that's 2 successes, which is all they need.
Are they injured? Does it make it harder?
No, they've not got wounds. 2 of them are dead.
Okay.
But 3 of them are injured, but not enough to be wounded. On the grounds that, frankly, they're minions, so.
They're
dead.
They are dead. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I need 2 pooled momentum as well, Louis.
Oh, you do, don't you? I'd forgotten about that. Thank you. Okay. So, what am I going to do? Does it get harder for them due to light? What am I going to do with that doom? I am going to say, oh no, they definitely hit you. They definitely hit you.
I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying, is it harder for them with light as Aladai's now moved away?
I promise you, I know what I'm doing.
They live in a black cave, so they must be at sea.
Yeah.
Okay, so that 20. You know what? I'm going to buy that 20 off with Doom because I can't see any other way of doing that right at the moment, which is annoying.
Yep.
I can think of one other thing, but it's just disingenuous to you if I do that because it's not going to matter for very long. Okay, so.
How far away is Aladai moved from Genghis?
It's significant. I see Aladai here, and I think Genghis is probably up here.
So you've got no light at all then, down the end of the cave?
Oh, Aladai's probably about here at the moment.
Yeah.
So he's still tucked around the corner, so half the cave's unlit, at least half the cave.
Yeah.
So where are the enemy that we think are there? Not that I can see any of it, I'm just asking.
Yeah, they're the back end of the cave.
Okay.
Chances are they don't need light to see.
That came from me.
I didn't roll that. Oh, I was going to say I didn't roll
No. So, Genghis.
Yep.
Arrow to the head for 3 damage.
And I take 3 soak.
You got 3 soak on your head, okay.
Yeah.
So that rattles off. That's what you get for having a thick skull, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, you get the arrow ricochets off your helmet. Yeah. Should really be using some of that Doom because I picked up Doom from that. Take 1 damage. I'm going to add 1 damage to that with the point of Doom that I got from that shot. So you do take 1 vigor damage from that.
Okay.
So you take 4 damage in total. But that is their move.
That's fine.
You just get there's a couple of arrows ping off, and one of them
I just got this graze just above my eye.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a tiny little bit of blood just running down over your eyebrow. You're trying to blink it out.
So do you get Doom, Louis, no matter who rolls a 20? Just if it's a 20, then...
No, Louis don't automatically get a 20 for a Doom, but there's certain situations where there's complications and it doesn't quite. Louis can't quite work a situation for it, so he can take 2 doom for a complication.
Right.
Yeah, I can give a complication or give a doom, or give myself 2 doom. I rolled 2 doom. That means that I had to give up.
Got it.
Because I rolled a complication, I had to give back 2 doom.
Okay, that's what I was checking, because
Yeah.
I got a bit.
So it is balanced.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that
I
makes
went
sense.
from 11 to 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so top of the round. Yeah, Genghis, it's pretty much black at the other end as Aladai heads down. You can try and take a shot, but
What?
I would say you're going to be at. I would say that's going to be a difficulty 4 to hit them.
No, I'm not prepared to at the moment. But what I will do is I'm going to move back to here.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to be facing that way.
Yeah.
So
And
that I've
anything
got
you see,
light,
you
and
can-
if absolutely anything comes into my way, they are going to take an arrow at the center of mass.
Okay, so you work your way back and
Drop to a knee.
I'll really
arrow
open
knocked.
up on anything that
Yeah.
happens there. Yeah, okay. Aladai, what are you doing?
Is that a
Salad-
prepared shot?
It's a prepared shot. It's not. You're not going to get an exploit.
No,
It's
because I
kind of-
haven't got the observation.
Yeah. Sorry. So you'll get into the. I mean, you can move anywhere you want to, pretty much on that platform.
Yeah, he's not. He wasn't going back to like too much because he's kind of the idea of funneling. If they follow, they're funneling them to here makes sense. But it's more just going to get the others so that if there's suddenly a lot more, we have backup.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I mean, basically, if you go back onto the wooden platform, you're slightly behind Genghis.
Mm. That's
Okay.
fine for now.
Action.
I'm standing looking very surprised at them, but don't know what to do. I've got my sword out ready and I've got a lamp, but they just appeared and turned around and done nothing.
Yeah. So
I've no idea what's going on.
you've seen Aladai come back to the platform.
Yeah, and he hasn't said anything.
You've
And I've
seen
seen you come back to the
Genghis.
platform.
You've
and
seen
get your bow
Genghis
out,
come back to back with Aladai and then turn around and face the corridor.
and that's all I know. So I've got a lamp in one hand and a sword in the other. And Baldur's
Probably, yeah.
on
You
the other
probably,
side with no idea what to do.
you probably
And
wouldn't
probably
see
Cage is the same as well.
blood.
She's gone, oh, might be some action, but she can't really do much, can she? Because we don't know
So
what's happening.
Aladai would probably have said something. I just
Right,
say
okay.
that Aladai would have said something. That's my fault.
What would you have said?
Some of the lines of someone throwing spears. We got a couple of them, but there's more.
Where are you, Aladai?
Standing right behind you.
No, in terms of on the map, where are you?
And about there.
Okay, so Genghis then would go there. In which case, I'm effectively blocking the corridor off at the moment. So Kaja would probably move up to where Genghis and Aladai were, but she wouldn't be able to move to a position to create an effective block for anyone coming along.
I'm going to suggest somebody beckons for Baldur, but
Well, I'm going to wave at him. No, I know something's happening, but he might be better off
Baldur
standing
waves
along-
back!
Yeah, Baldur waves back. I mean, he's in the right place for his bow, and I don't know what's going on. All I know is they found some people and they killed a few. Or some things. And
Well,
would Baldur move closer and use his whip? Oh yeah, we'll get Baldur over because we're trapped.
I mean, it's going to take him probably 2 turns to get up there, and
yeah.
yeah.
I'd say
it's
two
probably
rounds.
better off to stay where he is and try and ping arrows at anyone that comes
But
within
if we
range.
do decide to move somewhere, he's in the dark because he's got no lamp. There's no one with him.
No, but where he needs to shoot is clear, and the good hunter only needs to see its target.
I'm tempted to leave him there.
Okay, in which case leave him there.
And I'm going to move
Okay.
forward to the corner of the barrier, the second barrier, nearer the one to the corridor, and put my lamp on the side.
Okay, so we're effectively
So I can get my
filling
shield
up
out.
that area there with bodies.
And my lamp's on the floor, and I've got my shield out.
Yeah, with effectively Genghis there, Aladai just to the side of him, and then Keiju and Actian just behind Genghis.
Yeah.
And 2 lamps
Okay.
lighting the area.
Okay, there's a pause. There is a pause for a couple of moments, which would mean that if Actian wanted to, where is it? It's one of the actions. I haven't got the actions on here, have I?
What?
You can recover, can't you?
Recover?
So if you can recover damage, I'll do that.
You can recover damage as an action.
Can you recover resolve as well?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Baldur will recover 1 resolve for his action.
Hang on a sec.
That'll put him back up to full.
20.
I mean, if you can, because I
How
haven't
many
taken a
resolves is he
wound.
down? And is
One.
it just it's just resolve damage?
Just 1 resolve is down.
Okay, yeah, no, that was from a while back.
So
So
he's down
yeah,
3 trauma as well, according to the character sheet you sent.
in which case, yeah, no, you can probably get that lot back.
All of it.
Attacks. Give me a sec. I can do one thing at a time. Ready treatment, defend, recover. Oh, come on. I want action. Standard actions. Brace, exploit, assist. Pass, ready, recover. Hunker down, fights through the pain. Can choose a single type of damage and attempt an average skill test using resistance for physical and discipline for mental tests. On a successful test, the character regains 2 points of vigor or 2 points of resolve, plus 2 more points for each point of momentum spent, which is repeatable. So, yeah, if Genghis is standing, kind of almost leaning against the wall, arrow knocked, yeah, make me a resistance check.
Me.
Yeah,
Where's resistance?
somewhere down the bottom.
I found discipline, but I can't find resistance.
Resistance is...
Futile.
It's in
sorry, it's under brawn.
It's in brawn, yeah.
It's under brawn.
Ooh, I'm not good at resistance. That'll be a 0.
That'll be a 0. Okay, you don't recover vigor then.
So can Baldur do the same?
Baldur, did you say that was
He's got
resolve?
3 trauma and 1 resolve.
Is it 3? Hang on. Let me have a look at Baldur's
The
character
mental.
sheet. Let me have a look at Baldur's actual character sheet. That is trauma, not resolve.
He's got 1 resolve crossed and 3
yeah.
trauma. Yeah.
Trauma, there is no way you are going to be able to treat trauma now.
So he
Those
can
are
get his 1 resolve back.
wounds. He can get his 1 resolve back. Make me a discipline check.
Did he get 3 trauma?
I don't know where he got 3 trauma. I know he's got
10 and 11. He's got 1 success. He's got 10 resistance.
He's got those 3 trauma. Where the hell did he get those trauma from?
1 because he got attacked by the tentacles.
Yeah, but we've ended combat since then.
No. If it's trauma, that's like wounds.
It doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Right, he's got 1 success, so I can rub that result.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Because
you have to get 3
is a
4 successes.
willpower check.
He'd
Help
need
for that.
4 because each trauma reduces your mental skill or increases the difficulty.
Yes,
by
that would be
1.
a 4 difficulty.
So it would be
now
a
to
4
get 1
difficulty
back.
rather
Yeah.
than a 1
That's
difficulty
fine.
to get 1 back.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, Genghis is rewarded for his weight by the sight of shadowy figures at the mouth of the cave.
Patwang!
So here,
Okay, I'll take that, and
that
that
three?
is a 3.
Okay. I'm still going to say difficulties 2 because they are not well lit back there. But yeah, no, that's fine. That is exactly what you needed. So you gain your 1 momentum for not moving.
1 momentum for hitting them with the ranged weapon.
Okay, so you got 2 momentum ready to go.
Plus 1.
We need
plus
to
1
remove
for
1.
getting.
Can somebody throw in 1 momentum
do.
from the pool because we've got the end of a round?
I've done.
So I actually gained 3 from that, Louis.
Why 3?
I gained 3 because 1 for not moving,
Yeah.
1 for getting 1 above the damage die, and I've now got trick shot.
Which is
Plus 1 bonus momentum on range, but I can't use it for damage. Well, it doesn't go in the pool either.
let me have a quick check.
That's one of my things I got on leveling up. It's a trick shot. Basically, the only reason I got that was to reduce the cost of a second attack.
So you got marksman is spend 1 minor action to gain a momentum, which you've done.
Yep.
Um,
I gained 3 because it was only a difficulty 2 anyway, so that was plus 1.
yeah.
And I've got trick shot.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. No, I'd missed the fact that was 3 successes, not 2 successes. Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. You got 3 momentum. Roll me your damage.
So 5d6. Oh, hello.
Oh.
Straight
Okay.
5.
Okay. That is enough to put 1 straight down.
Doing.
If you spend,
Yep.
you know what? What I will say is, how many momentum did you get? 3.
I just gained 3 without.
I mean, definitely, if you spend 2 momentum straight away, you're going to end up taking out 1 of them. If you want, because this combat's going nowhere, and I'm aware of that. If you blow all 3 of those momentum, we finish the fight now.
Do it.
Okay. So, yeah, you just launch arrows into them. There's a couple of arrows that come back, but nothing that's going to actually connect with you. And yeah.
Can I do my Can I do my display of power then? Can that what end it? I just want to do it. No one's done one yet.
I know, but you're like 15 foot away from them, and the thing about a display of power is it does resolve damage. So all you're going to do is get him to run away.
Does it?
But he's dead.
Does it do resolve damage?
It does. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure the one you're thinking of does resolve
I think
damage.
the soil red. I don't think it does.
It's not going to do actual damage.
I think it does.
Conditions, displays of might and power. Are you thinking? It's not Dead Man's Stare, is it?
No, it's paint the soil red. Yeah. It does damage equal to...
I can't see how it can do physical damage. I cannot see how it can do physical damage.
That's what it says, though, doesn't it? Does damage equal to the number of enemies you killed?
Yeah, but what type of damage? Because you do combat damage.
It's got to do mental damage.
It's got to be mental damage. You scare the shit out of them, basically. Yeah. Where are we? Stain the soil red. Following the death of several foes and the shedding of copious amounts of blood, the character lets out a savage primordial cry. Does X damage where X is the number of enemies slain. That's got to be resolve damage. Common displays characters must use. That is not brilliantly phrased, but that's got to be...
Yeah, it's not.
They've got to be resolve damage displays. Oh, display is a method of intimidation, a technique that makes a character more effective at scaring enemies and breaking their morale. But yeah, no, that's definitely going to be resolve damage, not physical damage.
It's weird because, in fact, let me just have a look.
You'd use a melee skill for Dead Man's Stare, but it does resolve damage. The idea, you're hacking off the head of a fallen enemy and holding it up and challenging.
Some of this, yeah. Do you want some of this?
Yeah, that's not going to be physical damage. That's going to be resolve damage. It doesn't make any sense to be anything else.
Yeah, because it didn't say it.
Yeah, it's intimidation, so it will be resolve damage that it's doing. So I'd rather just go...
badly worded, though, isn't it?
It's ambiguously worded, which quite a lot of this is. But yeah, it's... So I'm just going to say I'm going to scrub them. You pepper them with arrows.
Yep.
And yeah, they go down again. Aladai, you just catch on the edge of hearing. There's this kind of high-pitched whistling.
Aladai's the youngest in the party, isn't it?
Don't know.
I'm
Genghis
28.
is quite young.
I'm 28, so it doesn't say how old Baldur is.
Does it?
Maybe you've just got.
Does it
better...
say how young Genghis?
Or just got better hearing, I guess. Yeah.
You've maybe just got better hearing.
Genghis is 22.
Oh, Genghis is younger then, but maybe his earrings. He's got a helmet on as well, I guess.
He's got a helmet on, and he keeps hearing the twanging of the bowstring right close to his ear, which is probably not helping his... He might not actually be doing him damage, but...
Got different sounds.
This is a fairly subtle sound.
Yep.
I've certainly seen one of these yellow minions. As he died. What colour are
At the moment, sort of
Silhouette
shadowy.
they? All right, okay. They're not yellow or anything, right?
No.
They're dead.
They do appear to be.
I'm going to check with Baldur and see if he's all right over there and call him over.
Yeah. Baldur can now, actually, now I think about it, get... where's that resolve damage? I think that might be despair.
Despair or that pair?
Where it is... I think that's despair. I don't think that's just resolve. I'll have to go back and have a look.
Didn't he take that when we first entered the room and Caja failed us as well because she said she deserved to?
Yeah, I think it is, but 3 trauma is that's bugging me. I need to go back through and work out where the hell he ended up taking 3 trauma, because 3 trauma is a hell of a lot from a single attack.
I don't think he's healed non-wounds following combat, so he's just built him up.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys have... I'm guessing you guys wait around quite anxiously. Baldur climbs the ladder, gets back to you, but
looks much relieved.
Yeah, you're not aware of anything else that's going on there.
Genghis is still waiting for the sign of anything to move down that corridor, and he's going to loose another arrow.
Now, amongst the party while Baldur's coming over, are we making a quick decision of whether we're going on down the next cave or going up the platforms?
I think at the moment...
Discussion amongst the party.
I don't think Genghis is in any frame of mind to make a decision at the moment until he knows there's nothing else in that cave.
So, are you going to sneak back in and have a look?
Hell no. Let them come to me.
So you're just going to sit there forever?
I'm going to sit there for probably a good 10 minutes.
That's the time Baldur takes to catch us up.
To confirm that... I don't think it'd take him that long. Louis, I want to make sure that nothing else is coming out of that cave. So for 10 minutes, I am totally focusing on the slightest bit of movement out of that cave.
Yeah, no, that's fine. What you can do in that 10 minutes is you can wipe out any vigor damage that you took.
Yep.
provided obviously it didn't. I mean, it didn't give you a wound, but
No, it
provided
didn't.
give you a wound. So is everybody just gonna down tools and wait and see what happens? And
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I mean, I was going to send Aladai up the ladder.
I think in that time also I would turn round to Aladai and say, what do you make of the mushrooms? For they were not sort I have seen before.
Me neither. I was going to say when we were there before we got attacked, could Aladai make an alchemy roll to see if he had heard of or seen anything like these mushrooms before? But then the spears happened, so he didn't get a chance.
Well, we can go back in and have a closer look at them in a minute. By the sound of it.
you go on, make me an alchemy. Make me an alchemy roll, and I'll tell you the result if you go back into the cave.
Right, yeah. Ooh. I think that is... Yeah, that's 3.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you when you get back in there.
Mm-hmm.
Time ticks down. It feels like hours for Genghis. For some of the others who are a little more impatient, it feels like, come on, let's get going. It's been long enough. It's eventually you all get to the point where you go, okay, no, I'm pretty confident nothing's coming back out of there.
Okay, I would then ease the tension on the bow just a little bit.
Oh, look at Aladai. Actually, looks at Aladai, nods his head and starts to walk towards the cave entrance.
Yep.
Realise there's probably no need for stealth.
Okay.
Yeah, Aladai would go as well at this point.
Okay. So you make it up into the cave, and like I say, the ceiling vaults up to 10-15 feet above you. There are some small stalagmites growing down. The mushrooms aren't quite like any you've ever seen before. I'll get on to the mushrooms in a minute.
I was going to say, what are the bodies like before?
At the entrance to the cave, there are 3 bodies. They are... actually, I tell you what, you guys can make me a discipline check.
Well, that's fun.
Discipline?
Discipline.
Is that everyone?
Yeah, might as well, because
Against
pretty
what?
much
That's
that's what you're going up there. Just make me a discipline check.
That's me.
I'm going to re-roll that discipline.
I get 1.
You get 1.
And Baldor's going to get...
You only need 1.
I got
And
3
Baldor-
again.
Apart from Baldor, who potentially needs 4.
Katie
Baldor's
gets 1.
failed miserably.
Genghis gets 1.
Baldor's failed miserably.
Okay. Genghis has got 1.
3.
You got 3. Okay.
Well, I could re-roll 1 and then I got a 1, so...
Okay.
Can
So-
Baldor re-roll? No mercy.
In which case, he's not going to end up managing to get enough.
No.
On saying that, this is going to be a low-level hit, and it's just to resolve damage. So you'll manage to shake it off before you go anywhere else. But I just wanted to get a feeling for what it was. So the only person that completely failed it was Baldor, because it was only a 1. Aladai just shrugs it off. There are things that Aladai saw in certain parts of Stygia which have prepared him better for the sight of these bodies.
Yeah, you could say that.
These look like some kind of savage human on first glance, but as you get closer to them, Baldor lets out a kind of half cry as he looks at them. He's decidedly nervous and twitchy anyway. The nails on their hands have hardened almost into talons. You would definitely not want to get hit by by one of these things if it just raked you with them. They're horrendous. But the thing that is probably most disturbing is that while they have a mouth and they have a nose, they have no eye sockets whatsoever. There is a slight depression there, but there are no eyelids, there are no eyes. The ears are a slightly odd shape, just slightly more bold and slightly more intricate, but they have completely no eyes. The rest of you feel this, yeah. When you look at them, there's just something wrong about it. You know that at some point you're going to wake up in the middle of the night with the face of one of these things firmly in your mind.
Allardyce would break through the kind of just like, oh, squats down right next to one with a lamp, just staring at it. They've got eyes. That's why when I had the lamp, they didn't throw all the spears at me because they. Do you get it? Yeah, it makes sense, right? Right, sorry. He'd get up and start to walk more towards the mushrooms.
The mushrooms are a really thick, meaty flesh, and they have a smell that you associate with certain mushrooms you've come across before in dried form, not in fresh form. The smell of them conjures up. They are a fairly pungent mushroom if they are the same as the ones that you've seen dried, and they appear to be, then they are food stuff rather than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they you're not aware of anything mystical or alchemical you could use them for. You don't think they're likely to be poisonous. Whether or not you're feeling quite confident enough to just pick one up and take a bite.
I was going to say he'd probably carefully cut a couple, not to eat, but just to take an experiment with at some point.
Yeah, but basically the whole of this cave, the floor is just carpeted in these large mushrooms, apart from where they have been cut. And if you get over towards the far end of the cave, in fact, you know what? I'm going to cut to the chase. When you get over to the far end of the cave, you find, just to speed things up a little, there is another smaller cave off the end of this. The bodies that are fallen in the doorway to that cave, which are the one of them's got a dagger in them, one of them's got a couple of arrows in it, or one of them's got a couple of things. So yeah, they are they have baskets next to them that have collected mushrooms, and when you look through into the cave beyond, there are some large kind of basket, almost like I can't think of what the right phrase is, but almost like an urn style basket that's full of these mushrooms, and there's 5 bedrolls in there.
Does it look like they cook them, or they eat them raw? If they eat them at all.
It was the Falmer, wasn't it?
Yeah. I did suddenly go, I really like that idea. I ought to use that. Yeah, it was. That was the inspiration for that. Yeah, so there are these. They've been collecting them. Whether they've been eating them or not is a bit difficult to tell.
So apart from some bread rolls and some baskets, there's not much else in there.
There's not a lot in there. There's there's bed rolls, there's baskets, and
no fires, no nothing else like that.
Sorry, no
fire pits or ash or
no,
no,
no, there aren't.
I don't know what they burn. They might burn mushrooms as well. I don't know. Right.
Yeah. So that's what you find. I'm looking at the time, thinking it is 25 to 11.
Yep.
Do we want to
Agreed.
go a little further? Do we want to stop there?
I'm not normally one for finishing early, but actually, I'm good to finish early if everyone else is.
I probably should as well tonight, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay. So in which case, we'll leave you back on the wooden platforms, having explored those caves. If you've got any questions about the caves, ask me, because you've got enough time to kind of explore them at your leisure.
There's no change to Bellator's character sheet, so you're all right.
No, and I will try and work out why he's got 3 trauma. So, yeah, hopefully anybody that's watching that, you're right, Doug,
Thanks, Louis.
enjoyed that, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yep.